Sarah has $25,000 sitting safely in her savings account. Last year, it earned her $2.50. Not 250, $2.50. The exact same money in a different savings account down the street would have earned her $1,000. Same amount, same safety, same instant access. The only difference was which bank she picked, and nobody told her the other one existed. Here's what should bother you. Sarah didn't do anything wrong. She saved. She was responsible. She did the thing everyone tells you to do. And her bank quietly paid her almost nothing because they were counting on her never checking. Now, most people watching this are going to hear the word interest rate, assume this is boring, and keep their money exactly where it is. That decision is costing some of you $1,000 a year, every year. So if you've got money in savings and you're not sure what rate you're actually earning, stay with me, because the fix takes about 15 minutes, and I'll show you the number your bank hopes you never look up. So why the massive gap? Why does one bank pay you $1,000 and another pays you $2,000? It comes down to one thing. The big bank doesn't need your savings, and the online bank does. A giant national bank has millions of customers who never move their money. They know you're not going anywhere, so they have no reason to pay you well, and they don't. Your loyalty isn't rewarded, it's assumed. An online bank is fighting for deposits. It doesn't have branches on every corner or a name everyone recognizes. The only way it pulls your money away from the big guy is to actually pay you for it. So it does, around 4% right now versus almost nothing. Same safety because both are FDIC insured to the same limit. Same access because you can move the money in a day. This is the part people get wrong. They think a higher rate must mean higher risk, that there's a catch. There isn't. The catch is that the boring bank you already use is quietly keeping the difference. The high rate isn't the exception. Your rate is the exception. You've just been on the wrong side of it long enough that it feels normal. Let me show you how big this gets, because $1,000 a year might not sound like enough to move for. Sarah has $25,000 in savings. At her big bank, she earns almost nothing. At a high-yield account, that same money earns about $1,000 a year, so that's her number. $1,000 every year for doing nothing but switching banks once. But watch what happens when the balance goes up. Say you've got $100,000 saved. Maybe it's a house down payment, maybe an inheritance, maybe years of being careful. At the big bank, that $100,000 might earn you $10 a year. In a high-yield account, the same $100,000, just as safe, just as reachable, earns you around $4,000 a year. $4,000 every single year that you are currently not getting because of which bank holds the money. And here's the part that should actually bother you. That's not a trick or a risky investment or something you have to be smart to do. It's the same money, same safety, same access. The bank just decided which of you gets paid, and they're betting you won't check. 10 years of that on $100,000 is $40,000. Real money. Money the bank simply kept because you didn't move it. Here's the part of Sarah's story that's going to sting a little. She knew. She'd heard of high-yield savings accounts. A friend mentioned one at dinner once. She'd even seen an ad for 4% and thought, I should probably do that. That was 3 years ago. She didn't forget because she's careless. She didn't skip it because she's lazy. She skipped it because moving money to a bank you've never heard of feels like a chore, and it sat on the someday list. Open a new account, link it to the old one, wait for the transfer, figure out if it's legit. Every one of those steps is small. Together, they were just enough friction to make later the easy answer. And this is the part the bank understands better than you do. They are not counting on you being dumb. They're counting on you being busy, on the switch never quite making it to the top of your list. Every year you don't move it is another year they keep the difference. and they are very patient. Sarah finally did the math on what 3 years of later had cost her. About $3,000. Gone. Not to a scam, not to a bad decision, to a to-do item she never got to. So let's make sure later doesn't cost you the same way. Because the whole switch, the one that felt like too much, actually takes about 15 minutes, and I'll walk you through it right now. Okay, here's the whole thing start to finish. 15 minutes, and most of it is waiting. Step 1. Find out what you're earning right now. Log into your current savings, look for the interest rate or APY. If it starts with a 0.0, that's your answer. That's the parking spot. Step 2. Open a high-yield savings account. The names you can actually trust are the ones that have been around. The big online banks, the ones your friends already use. Look for FDIC insured. No monthly fee, no minimum. If it asks you to jump through hoops for the rate, skip it. The good ones don't. Step 3. Link your old account and move the money. You type in your routing and account number once. The transfer takes a couple of days. That's it. That's the whole thing Sarah put off for 3 years. And to be clear about what this is and isn't, this is not investing. It's not the stock market. Your money doesn't go up and down. It's the same savings account you already have at a bank that actually pays you. Same FDIC insurance, same access. You can pull the money out whenever you want. I'm not telling you which bank to pick. That's yours to look up, and it takes 5 minutes to compare. But now you know the number your bank was hoping you'd never check. And you know the gap isn't a reward for being smart or rich. It's just for the people who checked. Sarah's bank kept $3,000 because she waited. Now, you don't have to. Go look up your rate. That's the only step that matters today. I'm Marcus Webb. See you in the next one.